Hello everyone, I'm Hillary with Dominion Tea, and today we're going to talk about Taiwanese oolongs. So, why Taiwan? Taiwan went into the oolong making business in about the 1960s, 1970s in order to be able to compete with China and to get the Chinese consumer. So they really focused on how to grow oolongs, how to manufacture them correctly, and ultimately they have created a phenomenal product. So when you're in the world of kind of exploring oolongs, Taiwan is a country you want to pay attention to. So there's a couple of big growing regions in Taiwan you'll hear about. The first one is Alishan. This is a beautiful region inside the central part of Taiwan, very mountainous, very high elevation. It's actually a conservation district on the island, and there are plenty of tea plantations there. And it is in Alishan that you get the renowned Alishan oolong. Now this is a balled oolong, okay? Tiny little balls that they ball them into traditionally. This is going to be floral, fruity, creamy, sweet. That's what's fun about oolongs. They're exceedingly complex in flavor, and good Taiwanese oolongs absolutely fit that bill. So let's talk a little bit about how to drink your Alishan for a moment before we talk about a couple of the other regions. So you have a couple choices. There is absolutely nothing wrong with your good old standard strainer. Keep in mind, good high quality oolong, you're going to steep in a device like this a couple of times before you're going to lose your flavor. So most of your oolongs are around 195 degrees. You can go a little bit lower, you can go a little bit higher. Watch the color of the brew. That's going to tell you which direction to take your temperature. The lighter the oolongs, you can go cooler. The darker the oolongs, you can go warmer. That should help you there. Now, traditionally, you can head towards a yixing pot. Now, yixing pots, right, are unglazed pottery. So this means one tea, one pot. Why one tea, one pot? The teapot itself is going to take on the flavors of the tea. So you start putting in lots of different teas and you're going to contaminate the flavor. So when you go towards a yixing pot, keep that in mind. Your greener oolongs, you could kind of mix together in the pot. But if you go from a lighter oolong to a darker, you're not going to want to do that. One pot, one tea. Quick reminder, as you go to fill these, you want to fill it up about a third with the tea, the rest of it with water, and your steep times are going to drop tremendously. So figure 30 seconds to 45 seconds to kick you off, and then multiple steeps. So we're talking 8, 9 in a pot like this, at about 15 seconds of steep each time. Of course, the other way to go is a gaiwan. And so the gaiwans come in handy when you're dealing with the long, twisted, lighter oolongs, especially out of the Winshan region, which is where this one comes from. It is the Winshan Baozong. So this is what they call rice paper oolong. It's twisted in rice paper. It is very, very lightly oxidized. You're down almost borderline green on this oolong, so around 20%. Why in the gaiwan? What it does is as the leaf untwists, you get the small particulate which comes through as you drink. And that is a wonderful mouthfeel, especially on these lighter twisted oolongs. So don't rule out using a gaiwan either. So there are a lot of things to play with in Taiwan, a couple of things to think about. The first thing is quality. So there's multiple grades of these oolongs. Absolutely ask what the grade is that you're buying. Hopefully your vendor will be able to tell you, because the higher the grade, the more complex the flavor, it's absolutely going to cost more, but it's worth the money if you're a serious oolong drinker. The other thing to think about is some of the oolongs actually are very much insect dependent. So the famous one is good old Oriental Beauty. So they wait for the grasshoppers. Now these are tiny grasshoppers. These are not American-sized grasshoppers. Tiny grasshoppers to clear through the tea fields in Taiwan, and then they produce the Oriental Beauty out of it. Those grasshoppers chewing on those leaves, really important. It stresses out the tea plant, so you get more polyphenols and you get a more complex flavor. So rest assured, you want to kind of know your grade along those lines. The other thing you want to know is, are the teas grown in a pesticide and fertilizer-free fields? A lot of Taiwan has gone that route, not all of it. Why do you want that? Because those pesticide-free fields produce a much higher quality tea. Because what they're doing is they are allowing in other insects. One of the most amazing ones you will ever see is an absolutely huge gold orb spider that will eat the other flying insects, that will chew on the tea leaves. But those spiders can't exist there with the pesticide. The other thing it does is it requires them to mulch with a much more nutrient dense material. A lot of times they're going to mulch with kind of extra tea branches, tea leaves. Sometimes they will bring in hay and other types of material. And what that also does is add complexity to the tea. So keep in mind natural, do a little bit of homework on that too. And enjoy exploring Taiwan, because this is a fabulous country that produces just amazing oolongs. So keep your eyes open as you go and explore. We hope you enjoyed learning more about tea with us. Hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified when we add more videos to our channel. And check out the highlighted videos to learn even more about tea. And last but not least, you can check out all of the teas we talk about in our videos at dominiontea.com.